Graphic scenes and political satire. Sense of humor required.
There he goes. A man's best friend. A boy's best boy.
Times are tough, but why skimp on Bumpkus dog food now? I feed mine Doggy Din Din. Real whole grains, real beef stock. It might cost a little more, but consider the times we're living in. War, inflation, disease. So why skimp now? You might have to eat the old feller later. Doggy Din Din, a meal within a meal. It's a dog-eat-dog world out there, so make sure your meat is marbled and raised with love. I love you so much, boy. I could just eat you up.
No animals were harmed in the making of this film.
No bullshit! No bullshit! No bullshit!
Public, let's just did breaking news. No more bullshit! No more bullshit!
No bullshit!
Man.
Yep.
Save the hate. That was just a joke. I'm not going to eat my dog. I will eat my dog if I have to eat my dog. But I suggest for this Lenten season, you go down to American Coney Island and have a pollock sandwich. They're back.
Oh, wait a minute. How did you guys get fish and I didn't?
Because you won't come out of your COVID cage. It's over.
I have a broken foot, Charlie. I can't get out if I wanted to.
You broke it on purpose.
Now.
You're such a COVID chicken shit that you beat yourself with a hammer. You don't want to come out of your cage. The whole world's going on, Karen. Come on down to the corner of Lafayette and Michigan Avenue in Detroit and get yourself a delicious cod sandwich every Friday. That's Pacific pollock. That's a fresh tomato, lettuce, cheese, delicious bun. I'm gonna leave it at that because
Pretty good.
look, the fucking guy.
What? Huh?
Man, dude, do you understand what's going on in the world? And you're showing off, shoving the fish in your face like this. Okay, look, we're trying to stretch this little thing we're doing in this basement in Ferndale, Michigan, on the lower level, yes. And we're trying to go worldwide. So if we have some technical difficulties, forgive us. But we're going worldwide. We're going to Ukraine today. Then we're going to the State House of Michigan. Then we're going to Capitol Hill in Washington. We've got GM, we've got Ford, we've got COVID, we got the nursing homes, but the world has its eyes on the Ukraine, and I want to. This is a great honor for me. Agnieszka Klichnerovich. I got that, right? Was that good?
Yes. Thank you.
This woman, she's a Polish journalism for TAK FM. That's Poland's largest news station, where she's the host of Worldview, and she is a complete badass. One of the world's greatest reporters and thinkers. Absolutely. She's covered everything from Myanmar to the Crimea to the Arab Spring, and now she joins us from underneath a blanket somewhere in the Ukraine. Agnieszka, how are you, girl?
Good, but not good. I mean, the situation here is my worldview is collapsing, and I hardly understand anything. It's really difficult to cope with what's going on here.
Let me start with this. You are based in Warsaw, but you're somewhere tonight in the Ukraine. Can you tell us where?
Yeah, I'm actually safe. I'm in the western part of Ukraine, the part that has not been military attacked in the last week by Russian forces. The attacks are concentrated around and on Kiev and southern, eastern, northern cities. The western part is still relatively safe, and it's so I am here, and I'm from that perspective safe. I'm trying to understand what is actually going on and how are people reacting and understanding and preparing for different scenarios of the war.
Are you trying to make your way to Dnipro?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. My colleagues are in Kiev. I am, I would say, social war reporter. I've always been more interested in people's reactions and during the war than the artillery itself. So my colleagues are in Kiev, or I have colleagues in Kharkiv. And Dnipro is also one of the cities that is still relatively safe. And it's one of the cities that is kind of organizing support for the parts of the country that are fighting or trying to survive as far as humanitarian support is concerned, as far as logistics is concerned. Dnipro is, probably Taras will explain it better, but you can sometimes say that Dnipro in these dramatic moments of history of Ukraine is also kind of hospital for the front lines. So many people that get hurt or get killed, they are transported over there.
So my listeners here in the United States know if they want to consult a map, the Dnipro, if you look at where it's at, it's in the east. That's towards the Russian border. It is more east. It's southeast of Kiev. It is northeast of Odessa. That's where the Russians are coming. They're coming.
You can say today it's good to underline it's close to Zaporizhia, where the nuclear plant is based, the one that was conquered by Russian or Chechen groups, as the Ukrainians say, the one that when it was being conquered, when it got on fire, actually got big part of the world really scared today.
So where are we? I mean, help us. You're on the ground. We're watching television. The Russians have Kherson. They have, I don't even know what's going on in Kharkiv. Their column is stranded outside of Kiev. Emmanuel Macron, the president of France, says he talked to Putin, and Putin is saying he wants all of it. Where are we today?
I'm not a military expert, and I'm as confused and interested as you are. Here in Lviv, when I talk, this is, I think, very important, at least from my perspective, to understand. And also there was a social poll that the first emotion that Ukrainians feel is anger. In the West, people don't probably think about this war as a 8-day or 9-day long war. For many Ukrainians, it's at least 8 years war. It started in 2014. And Western Europe or US hardly noticed what was going on. But people still here in Ukraine, they more or less were aware that there is war. Men were going on the front line. So when Russia fully attacked last week, I think for many people, the reaction was, we can't stand it anymore. We are so frustrated. We are so angry. We have to finally fight it. It's either this way or that way. Only the second emotion, as the poll says, and my experience when talking with people also tells me that only the second is fear. And they are, it seems that the Ukrainian army is actually doing much better than Russians assumed and also than West assumed. It seems that not many people outside of Ukraine believed that Ukraine army can withstand Russian Empire actually attack. And according to the polls as well, majority of Ukrainians believe that they can withstand the attack. But I really am not a specialist whether they can, whether it's the full power of Russia. I mean, whether they can still attack harder? How much are they determined to do, as sometimes people refer here, Syrian scenario, which means attacking from air, just bombing cities and civilians? How bad is Russian army? I mean, how corrupted, how demoralized? When you watch these videos or memes that Ukrainians and Ukrainian army is publishing, it seems that there is a demoralization. I mean, that many Russian soldiers are not, they don't know actually why they are fighting. They are not determined to do it. But I would not also underestimate the Russian army. So at this moment, really, when you talk to people here, at least in Lviv, but I also talk to my friends on phone, they assume every possible scenario. They assume that it may take another couple of days, weeks, and they are ready to win the war. But they also assume that it may take months and years, and maybe they will need to arrange and fight in guerrilla underground, that the occupation is also possible. For people that I talk to, every scenario is possible. Also that Russia will be able militarily to occupy the whole country. But the things they are saying, the ones that stayed, because remember, 1 million people left within a week. It's exodus. 1 million people, mainly women and children, because men are not allowed to leave, left within the week. But the ones that stayed, men and women, they are all saying that they are going to fight, whether with guns, if they have the training, if they have the experience, or, and this is very specific for Ukraine, as civilians. Ukraine has had what they call Maidans. They have had they have huge experience with self-organizing, with revolutions. They are really good in adapting and organizing the resistance. So I really don't know.
Can I ask a question? You know, with 1 million people leaving, looking at the destruction, the impact on the psyche of the people in Ukraine, what does a win look like?
That's a very good question. Here in the western part, where I would underline again, there is no immediate military threat. Many people tell me it's either them or Putin. People in the West, as I hear it, and as the people here understand it, sometimes perceive it as a Ukrainian-Russian war, which can be ended with some kind of compromise, like neutral Ukraine, or Ukraine giving up part of the land. But for many Ukrainians I talk to, it's an existential war first with an empire. And as long as there is huge Russian empire, they will not feel safe. So some people even tell me that it's either the Russian political culture as it is, or them, that there is no way, there is no place for compromise, because every compromise will only mean that the threat will be on, but it will come back 10 years later for their children, that they will need to raise their children to fight Russia. Of course, there is war, so emotions are high. I don't want to say exaggerated. I'm not the right person to judge it. But what I'm trying to say is that for them, for many of them, it's an existential war.
Agnieszka, let me tell you what's going on from this side of the empire, this empire. This is some bullshit. Okay, look, embargoes on Russia. The Ukrainians are on their own. We'll send you some Stinger missiles. We'll send you some anti-tank stuff. But we're still importing 600,000 barrels of petroleum product every day. Europe is still importing 4-5 million barrels of petroleum product a day. Russia makes its money, half of its economy is petroleum product. This is what my leadership says. Quote, this is from the White House spokesman. We don't have a strategic interest in reducing the global supply of energy. That would raise prices at the gas pump for the American people and around the world because it would reduce the supply available. It's as simple as less supply raises prices, and that's certainly a big factor for the president at this moment. What this means is my brother, God bless him, I love him. He lives on Beach Daily Road. When he gets up and goes to the shit and go, We don't want him paying $6 a gallon because we're in an election year. If you want to strangle this guy called Putin, this empire, it will take months, but we got to shut it off right now. I don't believe the world is offering the Ukraine much except words and sympathy. Poland, 70% of its gasoline's coming from Russia. Germany, 65%. It's cold there. You shut that off, Poles freeze to death. We are stuck, are we not?
What Ukrainians are saying, actually, many of them, that they are kind of soldiers fighting for the West. So they are ready to take the fight, but they need at least support. There are sanctions that are probably more than many expected, but from the Ukrainian point of view, as you say, they are not enough. They are not here. The consequences will come. Now they are asking especially for a military support for the no-fly zone that West is not ready to enter. As far as the energy thing, I'm here in Ukraine, so I don't follow the discussions that closely. But as I understand, there is some realization that actually it goes, also it's good for climate, because there is more and more awareness that using gas and oil from Russia is actually making West dependent on Russia, but also harming climate. But I'm not ready to. I don't follow the European discussions being here so closely as to what I'm trying to. I'm trying not to answer to your question because it's difficult not to agree with you. But on the other hand, we are where we are. So Ukrainians are asking for as much as they can, for as much support as they can. There are sanctions, more sanctions than probably many people expected. Now, no-fly zone is something they are asking for. West is afraid that it will mean Third World War. Many Ukrainians
and you're Polish. Listen, you're Polish, and that means the war is right at your border. You already, Poland. Look, Poland. If let's tell my people something about the great land of Poland and its beautiful people, was at a low simmering war with itself. The issues in Poland are very much like they are in the United States. Rural versus the city. Conservative versus the metropolitan liberals. Money, debt, refugees, the same thing. And now you're bombarded. I don't know, how are you going to care for 1 million Ukrainians when you're broke?
I will start, if you don't mind, with a personal note, but I think it might be interesting for you. I was born in 1980, which means that when I was growing up, when I was graduating, Francis Fukuyama was promising me the end of the history, and I kind of believed it. I mean, Poland was supposed to join EU and NATO and was supposed to be rich and safe. And that was supposed to be the end of it. In 2014, when I came here as a journalist again for Maidan, then I went to Crimea, that got temporarily annexed by Russia, and then I went to Donbass, that was attacked by Russians. I understood that the promise of Fukuyama is over. It's not true. What I'm trying to say is that thanks to Ukraine also, I got used to thinking that, yeah, we may have to give up our, maybe not give up, but at least decrease the comfort we are living in. It's not possible to keep up the way we were living. As far as Ukrainian refugees are concerned, not millions in Poland for now, but there are some estimations that if the war goes on longer, we may have many more millions of Ukrainians abroad seeking some refugee. So how are we going to cope? For now, there's a lot of solidarity and enthusiasm in Poland, which is very interesting because a couple of years ago when Syrian refugees were coming and asking for help, unfortunately, many of the Poles were not ready to support them. Now people in Poland are really helping people. I mean, it's amazing to look at it. I'm also afraid how long will we be able to keep up with it? How long? I mean, many of my friends actually have Ukrainians at their own flats. How long can you live with people that you hardly know? How long will you be so
About
full of
15 minutes.
solidarity. I don't know. I think we are really, I mean, many Ukrainians were telling me in the last years, the world is changing, and
Yes.
it really is. And we have to face it.
This is monumental. The domino effect that's going to happen here. Now, I want to do this because he's looking all nutty. If you're listening, you can't see, but I got to bring him in. Okay, he's a homeboy. Agnieszka, you got to meet my guy here. This is Taras Petro. He's from Hamtramck, Detroit, Michigan, USA. What up, Joe, baby? Okay, let me just line this up. He's a freedom fighter. He's of Ukrainian descent. His parents are immigrants to the United States. He shipped his 2003 Hummer to the Ukraine a number of years ago because he didn't want to pay registration and fees, too many euros. So now this dude is driving up and down the highways in the Ukraine in a 2003 Hummer in a blouse that's half Old Glory and half Ukrainian flag, shuttling people with Michigan plates. What's going on, brother?
Charlie, hello to Detroit.
Anything to tell her? Tell us what's up, man. You're our guy on the ground. You are Detroit. You are Ukrainian. You've been to Kiev. First of all, let me do this, bro. On TV, all of a sudden it's become Kiev. How do you pronounce the capital of the Ukraine?
You mean Ukraine?
Yeah, Ukraine, without yeah. United States, the
Thank you,
United
thank you.
States, come on.
That alone, Charlie, could start an international incident.
He's in a war zone making jokes. How do you pronounce the capital of Ukraine?
Kyiv.
Kiev, that's a cave.
Now, the Russians say Kiev.
Okay. And
We say Kyiv.
Kiev. Kiev?
Kyiv.
Yeah, get it? Kiev.
Yeah.
There's a Y and an I. Yeah. It's not Kiev. All of a sudden we started doing that. I don't want to do it. Okay, listen, man. What have you been doing, brother? And you're out of your mind. Why are you doing it?
I'm staying alive. Trying to stay alive.
Extrapolate for me. I mean, what are you doing with your days?
Well, I started my last week very hectically. I was woken up by an explosion at 5 o'clock in the morning.
You can keep talking.
And ever since then, I haven't. I've been sleeping off. I just actually woke up about an hour ago because that's how drained out I am. But I usually sleep on 2 or 3 hours of sleep a day or a night. And if I'm not sleeping, I'm going back and forth between the border, taking people to the border and then taking their husbands from the border back to the city.
So are you taking people into Poland?
No, just to the border. If I did that, I'd lose some time because it takes about 45 minutes to an hour to cross the border.
So you're evacuating. You're helping evacuate people at this point.
Yes, at this point. And the most I've had in the car at one time is 11 people.
Now, how do you find these people, and how do you find petrol, gasoline, when I don't know what a H2 gets? What's that get, about 10 miles at a gallon?
8 in the city.
8 in the city. 8 in. So, like, how are you identifying people, and how are you getting gasoline?
Well, it's actually very easy to identify them at the border because there's not too many large SUVs, black in color, at the border. And whenever I'm there, it's like they start swarm. Like that. There's a perfect example when the refugees were trying to get on the plane in Afghanistan or Iraq to get to America.
Yeah.
They literally started running after the plane. It's kind of like that with me in the car. I got people running after the truck saying, they just saw me get 8 people in the car and they want to fit 4 more in the car.
So you're taking men back to Kyiv and you're bringing women and children from Kyiv to the border.
Yeah. Well, not Kyiv, Lviv, because Kyiv is too far away.
Okay. And how far is Lviv from the Polish border?
It's about an hour away.
when these people get split up from their wives and their kids, and you're driving them back, are they just? I mean, they've got to be crushed because of what's going on, but are they also just not excited is the word, but just ready for the fight? I mean, what is their mentality when they get split up from the rest of their family?
Well, they are, but they knew the inevitable. They knew that they might get split up because there is a loophole in the system that if you have mostly 18 to 60-year-olds aren't allowed to leave Ukraine.
Men.
But men. But if you are a father of 3 or more children, then you can leave, provided you have the right, I guess, certificate, if you call it, or clearance that you have 3 or more children. Or if you have a medical exemption from prior to when the war started, which means prior to Thursday, then you are not obligated to fight, or you're not obligated to be drafted. The problem is now, if you don't have that certificate, you can't get it because the draft office is closed. The passport office is closed. Almost every single government agency in Kyiv is closed. You can't get your passport. You can't do any government business with the government because they're all closed.
Yeah. Well, so what does that mean? Because who would be
wait.
walking around
No. I'm not interested in some men trying to get out of Ukraine. I'm more interested in the men that turn around and gonna fight the motherfuckers that are shelling their homes and starving their people. I'm more interested in that.
And not only that, but Charlie, I get people that write me or call me. I don't even know how they get my phone number. They write me and call me saying, "Hey, I'm in this country or I'm in this city in America. I'm a former Marine. I want to come fight and help the Ukrainians." Well, it's kind of hard to direct them as to what to do when I'm here and they're there. And plus, I don't know if this is accurate or not, but it's my understanding if you take up an oath of a foreign army, you could lose your U.S. citizenship.
No, here's the deal. I'll tell you how it works from here. You can fly into Warsaw. You can take the train to the border. The COVID requirements have been waived. You don't have to join the Ukrainian military. You can come in as a freedom fighter, as you're doing. You can do it if you want to do it. If you all you Marines don't have to do the paperwork, get on a plane, land in Warsaw. They're very good. There's a taxi there. It'll take you to the train. The train will take you to the border. What's the name of the border town in Poland?
Well, there's 3 separate borders that 100,000 people came through a couple of days ago.
100,000 people. Jesus. What's the name of
the border that I was in, which is Medica? That's the largest border crossing. And the busiest day that I saw that picture I sent you, there was 35,000 people that crossed through that border in 24 hours.
Fuck. Aga, how many euros does it cost to get a train ticket from Warsaw to, what's the name of the border town?
Medica.
Przemyśl. Or Medica. Przemyśl is with the train.
Yeah, it's 7 kilometers from Przemyśl.
Okay, how much does that ticket cost?
It doesn't cost a lot. And I will add that the Ukrainian government is actually inviting foreigners, not only of Ukrainian origin, but foreigners to join legions. And people can do it, and probably mostly through embassies. Mm-hmm. I thought Taras wanted to add something.
I was gonna add something that
never interrupt a nun.
This is such a critical incident that Ukraine is even saying to their inmates who are incarcerated that we know you're in jail, but if you want to fight for your country, we'll let you out, but you got to fight for your country.
Shit.
And the 2 days after the attack happened, actually a day and a half after the attack happened, I believe Saturday, there was 500,000 people alone that signed up for Ukrainian defense.
Okay,
The
Taras.
the problem is they only had like 75,000 arms. So
Yeah.
there's not enough military supplies to support the people that wanted to sign up. I saw a report today that somewhere in Nassau County, New York, the county executive of that county
The fuck? Wait a
told
minute.
people.
The fuck? Motherfucker's in Ukraine and he give me New York Daily News reports.
There you go, baby.
I can do that.
I got to connect. I got to connect.
The guy's sitting in a motel hell over here, drinking Coca-Cola, and telling me about what's in the New York Daily News. I don't care what's in the New York Daily News. Here, let me ask.
So anyways, like I was saying before,
my program. I will have you shipped to the front, motherfucker. You keep up with this.
like I was saying
No,
before,
mute Hamtramck. You know these guys. These guys in Hamtramck. I mean, I don't know where to start. Okay, listen here.
Go ahead.
Listen here. Taras, I got a question. Are you carrying a weapon?
No.
Why aren't you carrying a weapon?
First of all, it's not a wise idea if you don't have the right documentation. Even in a war zone, plus it'll only cause more problems.
Maybe I will add that there are two kind of defense ranks here. I mean, there's army, but there is also territorial defense. So some people, men, but also women that don't have experience, they haven't fought before, they have no experience in Donbass, or they don't know how to use weapons, or they still think that they are more helpful doing logistics, communication, or any other thing. Can join territorial defense. So far in the conflict, Ukrainian army does not need that. I mean, there's enough people to fight on the front line. So they are also asking men and women as well to join the territorial defense, to organize. For example, there is hardly any police in the cities. Somebody needs to keep watch. Or cities like Lviv, for example, you mentioned, have not been attacked, but they may be attacked. So they need to prepare.
I have to add to that actually, because when this started originally, Thursday, they already started having air raids Thursday afternoon or Friday morning. There was already Ukrainian military National Guards that were in Lviv. There was, these kids aren't even legal enough to drink in Michigan, and they're walking around a town of 3 million people, walking around with semi-machine guns, ready to say, motherfucker, make my fucking day. I'll blow the fuck out of you if you don't say Palanitsa properly. Because the key, even the smallest thing, if the Russians were to come in, they give them a test. And if you can't say something proper, for example, I'll give you a prime example. If somebody were to come into Detroit and say, hey, man, I'm from Detroit, and then you give them a sign and you say, okay, you show them the Kaju sign, and they say Kadiux, then obviously they ain't from Detroit because they can't pronounce Kaju. If you show them Hamtramck and they can't pronounce it right, they're not from Hamtramck.
Right. Now let me ask you this: that we were talking earlier. You have gone into Poland, where you can get some petrol and whatnot, and they almost didn't let you out, right? Because they think you're Ukraine.
Listen.
Wait a minute, motherfucker. Let me set it up. God.
Don't interrupt me. What the fuck is it?
Interrupt me. Hold on now. I'm going to make you look good, bro. Come on. You're my correspondent out there. Okay.
I'm the Foreign Affairs.
So
they can't because I need all the money I can to fill the Hummer up.
So, right. How much does it cost? Wait, no. Taras, so they almost inducted you into the army thinking you're a Ukrainian citizen and that you can't leave.
Well, no, no. I have an American passport. I was born in Detroit, Hutzel Hospital. But
shout out.
Obviously, the Hutzel Hospital part didn't convince them enough, and the border guards like, hey, Taras, she's talking to me in Ukrainian, and obviously, I don't have to answer her in Ukrainian because I knew that was going to be an issue. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to speak English. You can't force me to speak Ukrainian. I'm going to speak English. We're going to see how this goes. So she's like, hey, you're Ukrainian, you have dual citizenship, we're not going to let you leave. I'm going to run your fucking passport and see if you do have a Ukrainian passport. And if you do, I'm turning you around.
Okay, now let me do
And she
this.
was-
Let me jump in here. We got a guest coming on. Is he there? Because there's a little signal from Terrell.
Let's see.
Yeah, he just said he can't wait much longer.
Yeah. Okay. Is he there?
Yes, he's there.
You guys put him on for me?
Trying.
Okay. See,
Is he muted?
Yes.
Okay.
somebody.
I'm unmuted now.
There he
I'm
is.
unmuted.
My man, how you doing?
I'm good. So listen, you don't see my face because I'm entering a. Okay, yeah, I can turn on. All right, hold up.
Okay, cool.
Let
Let
me
me introduce
see
you.
if I
Let me
can,
introduce you. This is Terrell Jermaine Starr. He's a Detroiter, a journalist. He's now covering the war in Ukraine. He's out there too. Okay, man. There you are. How you doing, dude?
How you doing?
Real good, man.
I'm,
Good to have
I'm good. Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm actually with my good friend Andre. We are taking refugees from Kiev and going into Kiev, taking them out and taking them to the Slovak border. So and I'm writing about him. So I'm just kind of going along for the journey, and then I'm taking people on Twitter along with the journey as well, Twitter and Instagram.
And I got to tell you, Terrell, I talked to Yolanda Cabell yesterday. She said you were crazy for still staying around.
Man, it's like
you know who I'm talking about, right?
I think vaguely.
You guys went to the prom together.
Well, gee.
the fucking high school prom. Okay, do me a favor. Mute Taras for a minute. Fucking high school prom. We're in the middle of a war zone and you talk about the high school prom. Would they play for the high school prom song? Stairway to Heaven?
My high school prom with the Yolanda Brantley. That's who I went to prom with.
Yeah.
While we're at it, I went with Mary LaPerna. Shout out to Mary LaPerna. Let's get back to human history here. So, Terrell, what are you doing there, dude? And how's it going?
Okay, yeah. So I'm here as a journalist, and I am covering this war basically from the human element of it. And so I have done a lot of television hits. With CNN and MSNBC, where I was on the scene covering,
fake news,
the aftermath of airstrikes, and I've also right now I was with a volunteer territorial defense unit, and I'm now with the member from that unit who is taking refugees from Kiev to the Slovak border. But I'm capturing all of these stories, and I'm writing about it for Rolling Stone. I'm also broadcasting with MSNBC and CNN as well.
How's it going for the people, man? You're in Kyiv, and what is it like for humanity?
It's agonizing. It's traumatizing because it's constant air sirens, and you're dealing with people who, because the Russians are encircling this place. So one of the things that you have to get used to eventually is possibly a Russian checkpoint, right? And so the city is being attacked, it's being bombed, strikes are going against it, but the interceptors are hitting a lot of these missiles. So if it wasn't for the air defense system, the city would be a much graver danger than it is. But these people, all things considered, are hanging in there, given the fact that they're largely outnumbered and their military is fighting very bravely and actually has foiled a lot of the Russian offensive. But the thing is, man, is that one, they just have a lot more, they just have a lot more missiles in their arsenal, and then they also just have more troops. So,
let me ask you this, bro. Let me ask you this, because you got the Russian disinformation as well. So you can tell me your own eyes that the Russians are shelling civilians, apartment buildings, universities.
They are. I was there. Yes, they are. In fact, I was.
Yeah,
there,
they are.
And I saw. Yeah, and I was on the scene, and I did a live broadcast from a building. Yeah, that was hit. Absolutely, they're doing it. And I've interviewed a woman whose house was destroyed by an air-to-ground missile attack. They're doing it, and I've seen it with my own eyes.
I don't understand, man.
Terrell, can I ask you a question? Are you afraid?
Yeah, I mean, I think I would be. If you're not afraid, you're stupid. So
yeah.
You told me, Terrell, you wrote me this morning. You said, I got PTSD. I go, no, man. You got TS. You got trauma syndrome now. The post will come later, man. This is war. All three of you are very brave people, and I honor you, and I thank you for sharing with us. But go ahead, brother.
No, I appreciate you. So basically, yeah, I am. And I'll tell you what it's like, how your body and your mind functions through the first 7 days, because it's been a week of war. So the first day, I was just shocked, and I wasn't in my body. And my boy Andre picked me up, and I walked past his car about 100 meters, and he kept yelling my name, and I didn't hear him. I just happened to turn around and see him, and he's yelling my name several times. And then I guess on the fourth or fifth try, I heard him say my name, and I went to him. I was in shock. The second and third days, it was difficult to eat. Wanted to vomit. I also was just, it was a dizziness, and you started getting paranoia. So I'll give you a short story of it. Basically, I was looking outside of my window, and I thought that a column of Russian troops were outside of my window.
And you know what? You're exactly right, because every time the first couple days after the shit hit the fan,
these fucking Detroiters.
The first thing you do is, if you hear something strange outside, you think either one, somebody's coming, or two, you think something's going to fly through the fucking window.
I did. That was the whole thing. So listen.
Hey, Aga, wait a minute. I'm going to get it. Aga, listen to these puppies. This is their first go around here. Yeah, boy.
That's what I'm saying. So
y'all thought you were Hemingway, and it's fucked up. There's nothing gorgeous about it, right, Aga?
No, because you have a house full of people.
Well, we understand.
And you have a big window.
My point is, brother, Aga and I have been through a few of these. Like, it seems like the most important, the crescendo of being a journalist, and then once you do it, it's the saddest thing you can ever see. That I don't like doing it. Aga, you?
I don't. And that's the thing. Yeah, because the thing about it is that night I was walking around my apartment with a knife, and just thinking that somebody was looking at me through the peephole in the door, and I was like 10 feet away from it, and I had this knife, thinking that somebody's going to break down the door. And listen, this is how paranoid I was, thinking that I'm going to use a knife to kind of take down, like a group of Russian soldiers, right?
Oh, so you were going to bring a knife to a gunfight?
Yes, literally. Yes, literally. But that's how my mind was working at the time. And a friend of mine called me just to kind of walk me through it and walk me out of it, because ultimately what it was outside, it was just a bunch of people who shouldn't have been out there because it's curfew, and so that was what that was. But then you go into the following nights where your body gets over it, and then you finally accept the fact that you're in the zone. And so what is actually, but here's the thing: it's actually healthy that you recognize this. It's actually unhealthy if you don't feel anything. And
let me say this. I'm sorry, Taras. Let me say this. This is important right at this moment. I want everybody, if they would not mind, to think about those tens of thousands of women and children in thin shoes in the snow, trying to find some safety.
I've seen it all.
You're brave young men. Aga's a brave young woman.
I guess I've as I understand, 15,000 people living in subway in Kiev, and the president of Kiev said that they are ready to host 100,000 people over there. The scale of it's a really big country, and it has been attacked from so many sides. And we don't know how the war. I mean, the war may expand, and the Russians may try to occupy the whole country. I mean, they put so much energy in the last years to build the country, to build the institutions, to evolve the society.
The problem is that the Russians thought they could take Kyiv in 3 days.
Yeah,
and obviously that didn't work too well for them, because the Ukrainians showed them we can fight. And then they thought that the president of Ukraine was going to pussy out because he's nothing but a comedian. And they thought, man, fuck that guy. We can handle him. Well, the Americans even said, listen, we will evacuate you. We'll send in a couple of our guys. We'll get you out. And you know what he said? His rating went from 73 to 92. He said, "I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying right here."
Ratings.
He said, I need ammunition, not a rock.
Yes, he said, I need firepower and I need men.
But
I don't need
apparently,
to
watch
lead."
this. If he needs a ride, I know Taras.
Exactly.
If he, listen,
Get him out of there in a Hummer, man, with Michigan plates. By the way, Taras, how are the roads in the Ukraine? It's a war zone. You got Michigan plates. How are the roads?
Terrible.
Are they as bad as they are in Detroit?
The roads in Ukraine are like the alleys in Hamtramck.
Oh God,
man, that's bad.
But they're worse. But Charlie, here's
like,
the thing, guys. The worst are in the Carpathians. Like,
well,
if you
the
don't have a
Carpathians
Jeep,
are pretty bad. Yeah.
Taras, let him speak.
yeah, but they're worse. No, they're worse because I'm saying I go through there all the time. I was just coming through them now, and they're worse than any other part of the country. But what's actually making it more complicated now is that you're going through multiple checkpoints. And so just going back and forth, you can go through 30 of them very easily because not only is the government or the military and the police have their own checkpoints, you have these volunteer groups that
you do have the volunteer groups.
Village that also, they also have their own checkpoints. And
they do because
Terrell,
yeah.
did they Taras, let me ask him. Terrell, did they put a gun on you?
Yeah, man. Yesterday it did, and I'll tell you how it happened, man. It didn't make any sense. So yesterday I was going, we were taking this family to the border, and I think we're like, this is day one, and so basically, I forgot the town that we were in. I think it was near Vinica, a town outside of that city, and it was a pit stop. We're going to stop to get some whatever, and so the family went into the store. I saw a building that was kind of bunkered down a little bit, and it looked like interesting visuals. So I did what I usually do, man. I was curious, so I went and I approached him slowly. I didn't have my camera on me, and so it was about I would say 7 to 10 volunteer guys. They weren't government, and so I went up to one guy, and then he was like, "Yeah, it's interesting." The first thing he said to me was, "Where are you from?" He didn't say, "What's up? How you doing?" He said, "Where are you from?" Now, the thing about what's interesting about it is that I'm in this little town, and so they may not be used to seeing a bunch of black people. I don't know what it was, but I guess I wasn't somebody he was commonly that he commonly sees. I said, "I'm from New York." I said, "I'm writing, I'm writing, American journalist." And he says, and then I asked him, "Hey, man, can I take a photo of this?" And he says, "No, there are no journalists allowed here." So I said, "Cool."
Man, that was your fuck up right there, because the Ukrainians, when this started on day one, on Thursday morning, Facebook was bombing with pictures and videos of everything, and tanks moving around, and the military guys getting ready.
Okay, where is this?
There was somebody posted on Facebook a picture of a convoy of like 20 or 30 tanks moving around. As soon as they posted it, he took it down within 2 minutes, because the Ukrainian government doesn't want to show the aggressor where those tanks are and where they can be, because the Russians have a way of tracking Facebook and with geolocation and all that.
Okay.
So they don't want it.
Yeah, but here's the thing though, right?
I lost control of this.
It depends on where you go, because ultimately I asked, and the point of it is that the camera wasn't out. I didn't even take any footage. And so I walked away. And then there was another guy who I did not speak to that became very aggressive with me and started cursing at me in Russian and everything. And so I said, "Okay, let me just walk a little bit more briskly." And then this is a checkpoint. Okay, let me get on my my passport. Yeah, but anyway, I'll keep talking. But anyway, we're at a checkpoint. So I'm going to put my camera down. No, we're cool. But basically,
I'm totally cool. I'm in a basement in Ferndale.
Lower level, but I'd like to ask Terrell a question. You kind of skipped over just a little bit when you talked about how that you were responded to, and you weren't sure if they were used to seeing a lot of black people. We keep hearing over here that, some of the Nigerians or black people that are there
Racist.
are not being allowed to exit, or are somehow being suppressed or oppressed, or however you want to call it.
That's true. Yeah,
Can you tell me the reality of those circumstances?
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
Wait,
sure.
Terrell,
I mean,
before
yeah,
she
there are a lot
answers
of
that,
these folks
I
that
have
are
to have
not.
an interpretation. What are you asking?
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
two
So
it's two black people talking. You know, I mean, I got some black blood, but like, interpret for me, Karen. What did you just ask him? Actually,
I'm asking him because we keep hearing that black people that are trying to lead the country, black women, they're saying no, let our women lead first. That they're being
that's true.
really?
yeah. So I
That's
want to know
happening.
Great
what
Yeah.
are the
question.
circumstances and the conditions for the black people there? Are they being
That's what I'm looking
treated
for.
equally, fairly? What's happening?
No,
Wow.
because there are different sides. So basically, I was at the border yesterday, and what you see is, you got Ukrainians on one side, and you got foreigners that are on the other. And here's the thing that makes it complex, right? Like with me, I didn't have any issues because I'm American, and so my passport takes me like wherever I want to go. So even though you can't, I could be anything. I could be from Nigeria. I could be from wherever.
But you're
But
still
my
black.
passport,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I am. But what I'm saying is that when you get to the border, it's a different thing because I'm not, because at the end of the day, regardless of what it is, my passport gets me through. You got my passport, right?
Yeah, I got
Yeah. So it gets me through. By the way, hey, listen, if I have to go off, it's because these guys are jumpy and these are volunteers. So
I
I'm gonna
hear.
keep
Oh,
going.
this again.
But yeah, but basically, hold on one second.
Okay.
Let's listen in.
Зараз репортаж.
Mhm. All right, cool. It was no problem. So they just uh-huh. It's cool. So they're fine. But basically, so I'll just tell you what I'm seeing right now. You have
Wait, did
these.
you
Are these
understand that?
volunteers? Or are these
Did you
for the army?
understand that?
А ви волонтери чи ЗСУ?
Volunteer.
Ви волонтери чи ЗСУ? Oh yeah, volunteers.
They're volunteer. Yeah, I could tell. So basically, I'll tell you I'm going to tell you what I'm looking at because I can't show you.
Okay.
But basically, there are a lot of checkpoints, and so around these little villages, and so where I'm just looking at right now are a group of the local volunteers, where the government basically
Hey,
gives them
Terrell.
funds, and so
Terrell,
yeah,
do you guys have Key plates?
yeah, we do.
Okay.
Yes, we do.
No, we got Michigan plates, bro.
So basically, they're going through every vehicle, searching it, security reasons, et cetera. Because the thing is that a lot, you have saboteurs that have come through here, and they fake to be, civilians, and they ambush these, these checkpoints, right, just to cause chaos. And so, hold on, let me see if I can give you a little something real quick. You see this?
Something.
See it?
Yep, sure do.
You see it? Yeah. So basically these are
Looks like
the
a
checkpoints that you're going through.
dreary.
Yeah.
It looks like a town in Kansas, like your four corners.
I mean, pretty much, right? So basically,
Flat.
you go through it, and this is what holds up a lot of the traffic. And so a trip that could take you matter of 6 hours can take you 18. But at any rate, let me finish that point. You're absolutely correct about the mistreatment and differences, in how the African students have been treated. And in fact, when I went to I would say my experience, like when I went to the border, again, because I'm American, yeah, I am black, but your passport is a game changer. And so I was escorting a family anyway, right? Now, if you are somebody that's a student, their whole thing, now, during a refugee situation, they're just supposed to let you go through anyway. But the problem is that there are a couple things here. One, if you are a man between the age of like 18 and say, I think 40 or 50 or something, they expect you to stay here and fight. So you can't leave anyway, right? That's the thing. And then they did prioritize women and children. Now, again, there's a reason for that because the women and the children are not necessarily going to be there to fight, and then they're considered a liability. Just to be, I hate to talk about human beings like that, but in a war, that's just the way it is. But then you got the other people, then you got the other students. So everybody's trying to compete for space on the bus, right? That's ultimately what it comes down to. They're competing for space on the bus to get to Poland, Slovakia, Romania, Hungary. And yeah, they are prioritizing their, not only prioritizing their citizens on the Ukrainian side, but yeah, you see, and people have reported, and I've seen this where people are complaining about not only just not being stopped, but just the way that they're being treated and the racism that came behind it. That is happening.
Well,
right? Definitely is happening.
We got all that in the war zone when we're all supposed to be together, and it's.
Yeah, but it's not like that.
No, I know it ain't.
So I've been I'm talking with a few people in the MPs, and here's the thing, man. Like just from my own reporting from me to you, they acknowledge it, right? I mean, I spoke with a couple people, and I'm like, yo, you know what's going on? They're like, yeah, we know, and so. He said, we understand there's chaos. We don't, we don't like it, feel bad about it. And we're working really hard to address it. So I'm just giving you exactly what a couple people in government told me. So, I mean, at least to me, they're not running away from it. But I'll tell you another thing, too, that I see at the border. A lot of, the police and like the professionally trained military are cool. It's the guys and the, what do you call those guys?
The militia, man. Look. The militia.
They're the ones, they're the assholes.
Yeah,
right?
But now watch this. Look, okay, let me get control of this show back.
They're the ones that are calling.
Let me get control of this show back. Here's what's going on. Y'all looking for a way, you want to get over there, you want to be part of it. You're looking to be a man, you want to fight something you don't understand.
They want to,
this is what's going to happen. You're going to walk into something you don't know. In a dreary, dark town, you can't speak the language. Be real careful before you get on that plane to Warsaw and take that 15-euro ticket to the border. Be real careful. What I think we need to do in this country is decide, is this a television show? Or is this the most cataclysmic event to hit Europe? Which, when Europe goes up in flames, the whole world goes up in flames. I think we know history. We have to decide what it is. Is $6 a gallon worth it in the midterm? It's not short term. It's not short term.
Well, and we can't even get, I don't know about Terrell, but the normal cars, obviously, my Michigan plates come in handy sometime because
they do. Yeah.
They give me, they say, well, we have a 5 gallon limit or 5 gallon limit. I'm like, look at my truck. Yep. How are you going to give me 5 gallons? I'm going to go 2 miles and stop.
Yeah, you got to go. Listen, we've gone through the same thing, right? So listen, they have limits. So I think what they have so Andre, I think they have like 5-liter limits and like 10-liter limits like that.
It's 12 and 20 liters.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's lower. No, it's lower. Like we wish we could get 20 liters, right? So
okay, it's 20 liters out by Lviv.
Okay, well, it depends on where you go. You know what I'm saying? It's gas station to gas station. And so we can get some places it's 5, some places it's 10. And so what
it's a fucking war zone, guys.
Done is we stop.
You go to
anytime we get to a certain level, just to make sure that we stay full. We stop at a gas station like every 30, 40 minutes, something like that, just to make sure we're at the top.
Just in case.
Yeah. And so we add up like...
Andre, hook it up with the military, dude. That's going to be the move. That's going to be the move in about a week. The gas stations ain't going to work. You're going to need to hook up with the military, or you need to hook up with CNN. Because them motherfuckers got all the liquor, all the gasoline, all the caviar.
Oh, hell yeah. I know that, man. Like, they don't...
And all the beer.
They got all of it.
Yeah, all of it.
I'm in fucking Iraq. It's a dry country. You got to go beg CNN like they're the fucking czar. Can I get a fifth of whiskey? You know what I mean? Can I get a fifth of whiskey? Please, Mr. Zucker. You twat. You guys are stuck, man. You're in a war now. And I'm going to do this. Let me do this. I love you guys. Yeah. You're going to be our correspondents. Okay, and excuse me because I don't speak Polish. I don't speak Ukrainian. I speak Russian. That's what they told me as a kid too. But я люблю тебя. Aga.
Вам тоже, брат.
Спасибо, друг. Спасибо, друг. I do. I love you. I respect you. I'm going to do this because we're now going to move on. We got it. There's very big things happening in the States, but I want to leave the last word to Aga. Aga, something to hold on to, something for us to consider, something to think about, and take us away. I will call you later, Taras. I will call you later, Terrell. But Aga, thank you. The big respect. Listen, Terrell, I'm going to hook you up with Aga because she's a giant in journalism in Europe, an absolute giant. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
No
Because you
doubt.
got a career going.
Appreciate you.
Real quickly, how can people donate to keep you there? Real quickly.
Okay, if you go, you go to the top of my page on Twitter, and you'll see my links to Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal, and people can donate to support my work there because I'm independent and nobody's paying for me but me.
Okay. And what is your Twitter handle?
Oh yeah, Terrell J Star, TerrellJ Star, STARR.
At least
My
Detroit,
government
man.
name.
Detroit, Michigan. He's one of ours. Brooklyn, he's one of yours. Georgia, he's one of yours. Support the guy. Help him bring the information back and help a young dude get the career going. He's risking his balls. Taras, I will get a hold of you. We'll figure out what to do with you. Aga, please give us the philosophy.
I don't have the philosophy. I have two things that I think are important for me, and I learned from here. First is there's still place for sense of humor. Probably it reached you the way the war is going on in the internet. The sense of humor of Ukrainians is just amazing. I know it's war, and maybe some people would think it's not right to smile or laugh even, but I think it's amazing and it's really funny. And the second thing is the self-organization. I know you in the US, you have been inspired by your walls what was it called? The protest in 2008, whatever. I mean, the way Ukrainians self-organize, the way they protest, the way they know that there are really negative and really scary scenarios. But despite that, they are determined to fight in whatever way they can and in whatever way they know to organize the solidarity among them. It's amazing, and they've learned it. They have had so many revolutions and so many protests that the society it's truly in a way democratic. It's really inspiring in this moment, and I think it gives them strength, and I think it gives them hope. And if you look into the polls, they really believe that they can win, that they can survive attacked by one of the biggest armies in the world.
And we'll leave it at that.
It's amazing.
I'm thinking of the people. Fight.
I need to say a couple things that really have pissed me off.
I'm gonna give you one thing. You get one thing. That was a beautiful. I said she got the last word, Hamtramck. I'll give you one thing. Go ahead.
Don't mess with Hamtramck.
And we'll leave it at that. That's
Be safe, man.
Man, them Russians are fuck, man. Hamtramck in the house. My man.
Yeah, baby.
I'll be in touch with you. Listen, man. Again, I'll be safe, please. Above all else. Okay. I'll say good night. Dzień dobry. Okay. Dobry wieczór.
Do widzenia. Do widzenia. Do usłyszenia.
Пока.
Miłego wieczora.
Okay. Ty тоже. That's
Powodzenia.
I'm trying. Okay, see y'all, man.
Now that you got what's it called? Can I finish what I was going to say?
No, cut it. Bye. We'll talk to you later. You finished that Coca-Cola? Yeah.
He's great.
He's fucking awesome.
He's hilarious. That whole hour, I'm just speechless.
Was that an hour?
Yeah, that was unbelievable.
It really was.
I don't know how they do that. And you really made
Don't hang up. You guys just listen because we're going to let you know what's going on in the U.S. But we muted you, so stay there.
I like the point you made, too, about there's a lot of bitching about gas prices here.
Yes.
So I think most people would give up a couple of cents on the gallon if we stop taking Russian oil.
Couple cents. I'm talking $2 more.
I think people,
how serious are you?
I think people would do it instead of putting up messages on Facebook of support.
Okay. That helps too.
Let your pocketbook speak. Don't bitch about the gas prices. Accept the increase. If we do this,
the whole world is. You can't have 16-year-olds in Sweden making energy policy.
Yeah. Yeah.
We need 20-year focus on what to do. You can't set up a windmill and power the world. I want that. We all want that, but nobody in a position of leadership is willing to go there. We undid the planet in 20 years. It's going to take 20 years Let's start directing ourselves, but I don't hear that.
I don't want to pay an extra $2 a gallon for a long time, but if that's what it takes to choke them off, by all means.
Oh, gee, you're an American. You're gonna be like this. Fuck it. I'm done. I'm done with it. Okay. Fuck the Ukrainians. You know it.
I'd like to think I wouldn't, but
Yeah, you said I'll pay it for like 2 weeks.
I didn't say 2 weeks.
And then a Republican fucking fish snatcher.
I did not say 2 weeks. I'll just say that.
They took the shit right out of my mouth. It's unbelievable. I didn't even get to taste the fish.
But paying $2 extra in a Honda versus $2 a week in a Hummer are completely different things, depending on your gas consumption. Premium gas, that's a whole other conversation, Mark.
That's why I'm going to get a hold of Taras. I know he's still there, but we're not putting him on.
Yeah.
He is.
But we got to raise him some money, man.
Yeah.
What do you think gas prices are going to do?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, but I have neglected the underwriters of our program. Let me start out with Luke Nowacki. You're hearing what's going on. You're hearing about gas. Wheat just went through the roof. You got to remember, Russia and the Ukraine are the wheat basket of the globe. Whoop! Whoop! Them buns just went up.
When it comes to security,
you're talking about futures. You're talking about
there's only one company.
oil. You like the market's up and down. I mean,
Commodities, yeah.
do not guess. Go to a professional, wealth manager. I'm also scared for my child. I need to leave my child something because the future don't look really great. So I call Luke Nowacki, 248-663-4748 for rational financial advice. It's serious now. I've been saying this for, 175 shows?
Yeah.
175 shows, man. Don't guess. You're a clown if you are. 248-663-4748. Also, you need those roads fixed.
Who could I call?
You call ADR.
Oh, yeah.
I bet you could get something done in the Ukraine, but I don't think he wants to try. But leave that music. I don't like that.
After all the ham talking about.
Why can't we get the roads fixed here in Michigan? You know why? Because the government stinks and the contractors got us by the balls and the aggregate they're using is poor and MDOT is not, put that back on, is not inspecting the roads as per the contract. If the state wanted to get its business together, ladies and gentlemen, if you want your roads fixed, you start shouting ADR.
ADR.
ADR. ADR. ADR. Already the damn roads. Already the damn roads. ADR. Call Barry Allentuck. Fix the damn roads. 248-318-9424. One more time. ADR. Already the damn roads.
Probably your cheerleading experience is
Thank you.
probably valuable right now.
248-318-9424. And finally, Hall Financial. Well, give me the music. When I tell you to turn off the music, that's when you turn off the music. Turn off the music. Okay, put on the music. Turn off the music. Turn on the music. I'm getting you ready for the front. These are mental push-ups.
Okay.
Listen, you got a lot of equity in the house. You're hearing what's going on. I used to tell you, maybe you want to redo the kitchen, right? Maybe you want to upgrade to a higher house. Think about this one, folks. Your house is valuable. Interest rates are still low. They're still low. When I bought my house in 2008, the interest rates now are lower. What about a nest egg? What about put some cash in there at a low interest rate? You know, think about the world. What did I tell you?
It's still there.
Okay.
It's still there.
Think about this. Cash is king.
Yeah.
Markets up and down like a washwoman's ass. No, you don't have to do reverse. Well, maybe you want to do reverse mortgage. I don't know if Hall does those, but I know they have 5,000 five-star reviews. I know they can get this done for you in 8 days. I know the appraisals are free. Think about it. There's not no heavy push. Think about it. You have an asset. You're a little bit thin in the bank account. Think about it. I'm holding debt now. You know that?
Really?
I got a low interest loan. I'm sitting on the cash, waiting for interest rates to go up. If my interest rate is lower than the current interest rates, the bank's paying me to be holding debt. Think about these things. Think, people. Don't be caught out. Don't be having to walk down a highway looking for gas.
Call Hall.
You do.
That's what I'm doing.
866-CALL-HALL or chat with them online at callhallfirst.com. I hope that was all right, David. I'm just getting real now, man.
I'm not ready to think. I got to do more mental exercises.
Right, yes, but you're very good at it. Look at you. Yeah. You want a fish sandwich? Maybe that Republican operative over there will barf it up.
Then no, I don't. I want a fresh one from American.
It is Lent. Maybe he knows Jesus and it comes back fivefold. I don't know. Karen?
Yes.
I promise you I won't eat my dog.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And so does he.
Oh, Rupert.
He wouldn't care.
Yes, he would. Charlie,
he would.
that's cool, but yeah, we get it.
I will have a friend. His name's Evan. He lives in Astoria, Queens, New York. He's Greek, and they take him over to the old country every now and then. And for the summer, as Greeks do, they go over there for the summer. He had a pet lamb. They gave him a pet lamb. Evan had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb. Evan had a little lamb, and his grandpa made him eat him.
Delicious.
And he wouldn't eat it.
Do you think this maneuver around the gas is to push the narrative for the EVs?
No.
Oh, Karen's trying to segue.
That is a good segue, though.
It's a great segue.
I'm trying to get you guys back on track. Let's go.
This is the track.
Is it?
This is the track. There's no... That's why this show's so incredible. That's why you out there are so beautiful. Because we're smart and the rest of them are dumb. Thank you, the people from the war zone, for spending some time here. It's late at night there. It was very cool. Let me bring it back here. Let me tell you about politics in the state of Michigan. Okay? Right there. The new COVID strategy for vulnerable Democrats appears to be stuff the whole dark episode in a political duffel bag, toss it into the river, and move on. I quote here, "The more we talk about the threat of COVID and onerously restrict people's lives because of it, the more we turn them against us and show them we're out of touch with their daily realities." That from a memo from Impact Research, a consulting firm advising Democrats in this year's elections. It goes on to say, take credit for ending the COVID crisis phase of the COVID war and fully enter the rebuilding phase that comes after any war, which is good advice. Change the subject. Don't remind people of the lockdowns here in Michigan that shuttered businesses and sequestered our children. Move on to the next war in Ukraine. Hand General Motors $1 billion in incentives and hold a press conference. Send Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist out in a suit to stare stupidly into potholes. Do anything. Just move on. But I'm not ready to move on. That would be moral bankruptcy. Because here in Michigan, there is still the matter of the nursing home debt. Mm-hmm. Governor Gretchen Whitmer and her health executives continue with the big lie that her nursing home policies saved people's lives. Her army of sycophants and pillow fluffers continue to pump out the now debunked narrative that, number one, her policies were so effective that deaths in long-term care facilities in Michigan are below the national average. And two, even though Whitmer signed an executive order requiring nursing homes to accept infected patients still hot with COVID into homes where people were healthy, they say that policy was never implemented. But Big Gretch is gaslighting you. The sick were in fact commingled with the healthy. You might remember those nursing home hubs. Let me let that sink in. Remember the hubs? Those 21 hand-selected nursing homes of last resort in Michigan that accepted the COVID sick from the hospital when there was no other place for them to go. You remember?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Those
cost a lot of money.
Though, you know how much money we gave them? $4 million.
Jesus.
That's how much money we gave them for just 21 homes to protect. Somehow this was going to work. Hanging plastic sheets Those homes were supposed to be special, places that had separate nursing and janitorial staff and separate and isolated wings, following special protocols because there were healthy but vulnerable elderly people living in the hubs too. So they're going to do an extra special job. Somehow, the worst facilities in Michigan, we're going to do an extra special job. So now comes the exclusive news, which is why you tune in here and you all know. According to additional data from that Auditor General's work product obtained by me from state legislators, those hubs failed to report 20% of their deaths. Put another way, 1 in 5 bodies were not counted as COVID deaths. They evaporated. You know that. We told you this as it was going on. But Whitmer and the press continued with the big lie, and that's called mainstream media information. That's the lie, not us. We're not some right-wing crackpot. We're not some left-wing goofball. We're regular. We work hard all week. It's not settled. Should we be surprised? Many of these nursing home hubs were never good to begin with. Half of them received below or far below ratings in their Medicaid grades before the pandemic, and 9 flunked inspections during it. You hear me? Wow. Half of them were bottom of the barrel garbage, and half of them flunked the inspections by the time the state decided to stop being afraid and getting back in there and taking a look. We've been through this. Whitmer assured us she made pandemic response decisions based on science and data. We now know the data was bullshit, even in the so-called hubs that the Whitmer administration insisted were well-equipped and well-monitored. Keep in mind, the independent report from the state auditor general, remember that one? Mm-hmm. Showed at least 2,400 more people dead in the state's collective nursing home facilities than Whitmer officials still won't acknowledge. A full 42% higher than the self-reported count by these facilities, which means Michigan is well above the national average, and there's a bunch more we're not even counting. So that puts Whitmer in the Hall of COVID shame right next to the bust of Andrew Cuomo in New York. This doesn't seem to bother the flapping fish of the corporate media who continue to bite the establishment line, hook, line, and sinker. Some want you to believe the Auditor General is a crank partisan hack. The truth is, the Auditor General never, not so much, as voted in a partisan primary or donated a single dime to a candidate. Never. What he is a decent and qualified public servant who does math for a living. Caught out amplifying the governor's bullshit line throughout the pandemic, the press, to its great shame, has doubled down on spreading Whitmer's nursing home double talk, even when confronted with the mathematical evidence. You wrote lines and lines of this shit, and then you wanted to poo-poo it away. Shame. Now we're all supposed to forget this ever happened. The latest polls show that less than 50% of voters approve of Whitmer. Not good. But by my guess, she'll probably win re-election. If the gaggle of goofball Republican challengers is any indication, they don't seem interested in nursing home victims beyond a political talking point or two. They're more intoxicated by the scent of Trump's loafers than the actual business of ideas and governance. They tie themselves in knots trying to figure out ways to promote Trump's own big lie so as not to offend the big orange, without directly admitting it so as not to offend sensible voters like you and me come November. And every Michigan GOP bigwig I talk to knows it. Every night, they call me, I got to get out of bed. The party is collapsing in Michigan. The executive director, who was critical of the Trump big lie, showed himself the door last summer because the right, the Republicans, are taking sniper fire from the far right when you're supposed to be looking left. That's all it is. Sniper fire. There are no ideas out here. The Michigan party chairman can't even bother to be here, reportedly off canoodling in California. Swear. 2 of the bigger campaigns in the Republican primary are being run by out-of-state sleazeballs. A third candidate is lying about his birthday on the internet dating site, trying to score women half his age. What? This is true.
What?
This is true. I got it. You know I got it.
Oh
it's going to be a fun summer. If it wasn't so fucking sad. Because it's all good copy. It's all good for business. The weirder it gets, the more the no bullshit news hour eats. But what about the dead? They're gone. But they're not forgotten. I promise. Oh, hi, guys.
This is my thing. At the end of the day, candidates, elected officials are really approaching their constituents as though they're stupid. They're treating them like they're stupid. And if we don't respond differently, then we're responding as though we're stupid. I mean, they're not giving us any substance. They're not treating us with any respect. They're telling us something one day and completely ignoring it the next day. I mean, how long have we been talking about the holes in the road? How long have you brought up very hard, justifiable data about the nursing homes?
Data.
I mean, all of this stuff is can kicking, and we're allowing them to do it.
And I resent being put in some position. I'm just a guy. Like, you know what? The country's not that weird. If you can't vibe with the fact that it's fucked up, that the energy policy in Europe leads to a war,
yep.
that shipping my factory away leads to a war. You don't even know what these elites have done to you, but you know it's happened to you. And they send douchebag out in a suit to stare at a pothole. Oh, by the way, we're fixing the roads. You've done no such thing. You borrowed $4.5 billion on my child's future, and we've already piled $30 billion on her future. You didn't fix anything.
The road's still
You
suck.
borrowed it, and it's...
The roads are worse now than they've ever been. They know what happens every year. This isn't anything new. It's like people in Michigan, when they drive where the first snow, you think they'd never seen snow before. Like, this is nothing new, but every year we have this conversation like, oh yeah, well, this time I'm going to do it. It's like the little kid that keeps doing the bad behavior. Yeah, I know I didn't do it yesterday, but I promise I'm going to do it this time. And we say, okay, let's see. No, I fixed 3 tires on 3 cars in less than a month because of potholes. These are low. No, and just no, it's unacceptable. It is unacceptable.
Yeah, okay, yeah, yes. Okay, now what? Because it's beyond partisan blame game. It's political blame game.
Oh,
because the Republicans have it, the Democrats have it, and the contractors own it. How thick is that? What are we paying for it? What is the aggregate in it? What is the life of the contract where you got to repair it if it breaks? And why is it we wait till the contract expires before we send the bureaucracy out to even investigate if it's cracked? If you know anything, and I do, I've done a few of these things. I know more than these clowns running for governor. And in fact, the governor who has spent her whole career in government because her daddy's rich, and that's fine. You get to have a nice little suite. I sit on the backbench of the minority party. I don't really have any power. I never had to put a budget together, nothing. And now you're running it, and look at it. Wow. Wow. I got a war in Ukraine. Why don't we all collect some gas and give it to Taras? Because at least he's doing something, trying to save a couple lives. Get him some clean socks and stuff in his mouth. Man, that motherfucker does.
He does talk a lot.
But he's awesome. I mean,
Great. He's the best.
That's
yeah.
look what we did
All
today.
three of
That,
them, yeah.
that was so sweet.
But I like his personality. Like he wasn't sitting there. You didn't have to drag it out of him. And one other thing that I like about Charlie, nobody else on the show
Still there.
bucks up to you like that.
He's still there?
One step at a time, I guess.
There he is.
There's no stopping him.
He's back.
First thing would be,
He raised his hand.
at least
Oh, let him in. What are we talking about?
their
He's on the phone, I think.
Oh, okay, cut him off.
All right, yeah, mute him.
That's my man.
I'd vote for him. Can he come back and run for governor?
Fucking yeah, man. He like fix the damn roads. Fuck it. Get a 2003 Hummer. Which brings me to this. Before we're gonna wrap up with Zach Scroll, one of our guys here at the No Bullshit News Hour, who's mining the deep internet of the Ukraine, bringing you sights and sounds that you have not been given by mainstream media. You're getting that same ridiculous loop. But before we do that, let me play just a piece of President Biden's State of the Union address this week. This is nationwide, and it means a lot to us locally. Hit it.
Companies are choosing to build new factories here when just a few years ago they would have gone overseas. That's what's happening. Ford is investing $11 billion in electric vehicles, creating 11,000 jobs across the country. GM is making the largest investment in its history, $7 billion to build electric vehicles, creating 4,000 jobs in Michigan.
Fake news.
Really?
Joe's perpetrating fake news. I'm wondering if Facebook
We'll pull it down.
is going to shadow ban him. I'm wondering if YouTube is going to put a sticker up there, fake news, because the real news is this. GM came to us, Michigan, because we're the redheaded stepchild. We don't want to be in Michigan anymore. Jennifer Whitmer.
Jennifer Whitmer
was embarrassed.
Same difference.
Was embarrassed that Ford is going to Tennessee.
Yeah.
So they couldn't line up fast enough in an election year, the Republicans and the Democrats signing non-disclosure agreements, government deal. Remember, we reported on that. We're going to give them $1 billion in COVID money. Fucking COVID money. Let me bring it back around. That's supposed to go to nursing homes. Because these things are
We're moving beyond that.
Okay?
Right?
We gave them $1 billion on the promise of, what did Joe say? $7 billion in investment and 4,000 jobs. Well,
Charlie.
Uh-oh.
Hold on, Taras.
Taras alert.
I was on an international phone call. I heard, I'm beginning to like Karen Dumas.
We love
Because,
her.
not to like.
Beginning to like?
Yeah, we love her.
She said I got some clout because I was able to overtalk you, I guess. Right?
That's not what I said. Now listen, if you're
Which is the aim of any show.
Yeah, right.
It really is.
Talk over the host.
Yeah, just go off into the sunset. I mean, I can't wait to listen to this.
Sorry. The reason why I wasn't listening completely was because I was actually arranging my some of my transports for tomorrow.
Wow.
Because I have a mother with 3 kids that I have to actually take across the border.
Okay,
thanks
for that. Wait, hold on a second. Breaking news.
Yes.
Taras is taking a mother across the border tomorrow. Thank you
Billy.
for that interject. Now back to the news. Okay. Is he muted?
Did you
Never.
Did you see that tank I sent you yesterday? By the way.
Yeah, man. We got to get out of here. Okay. Where was I? Oh yeah. So what GM really did, Joe? Hey Joe, this is what you got to know. I mean, Mr. President. GM, it was the slip to Mickey, and the politicians did it too. The real number of investment is not $7 billion; it's $3 billion. The number of jobs is not 4,000; it's 3,200, and those 3,200 jobs have to exist for 6 months. This is bullshit. This is why Elon Musk gets mad.
Yeah, he should have been mad.
And he says, we created 50,000 American jobs, and our investment is double what Ford and GM are pitching currently.
And Tesla's all assembled here, right, in the States?
What?
I mean, just asking, right? Well, I think that was another reason.
No.
That's another reason.
This is the no bullshit news hour, and you're faking like you don't know this.
I don't. Honestly, I don't.
You said it
Charlie,
pre-show.
He didn't say. He asked.
You know what he's doing, Karen?
What?
He's just trying to set him up like it's smart, like the show's organic, and like, gee, Charlie.
Because I was going to say,
do you know everything in the
say,
world?
don't they
Yes, I do. You know what? That's exactly right, Mark, because you told it to me.
I was going to say
an hour ago.
Don't they get all their parts in here? But I don't think they get all their parts from the States.
You're a very smart guy. Just take credit, because I don't know.
Okay.
According to our
That's why he was pissed.
built in China. So
They are built in China.
Charlie,
that's what it says.
there's one more.
I guess I don't know.
Is that Tetris? Okay, look, but here's the other part of it. As we reported, what was it, 2 weeks ago when Eric Starkman was on the business writer.
Nailed it, yeah.
Hey, man, look to me like Ford is getting ready to split the company. And they come out this week and they say, we're going to bifurcate the company under the company's banner. We're going to have electric vehicles over here. We're going to have internal combustion engines over there. And we're going to keep them under the blue oval. It's going to be called Ford Plus. What is this?
Everything's
It's like an HBO app.
Everything's a plus.
Ford Plus. Okay, what does this mean? I don't care. I've been here long enough. I'm smart. I study finance and economics. That, to me, and to Wall Street, sounds like you're getting ready to split them. Because what's his name? Jim Farley, the CEO.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
What he's saying is we're going to definitely shrink the gasoline engine. That's going to go away. And we're definitely going to bolster EVs. Now, we've talked about the grid. I think this is just Candyland, right? It's too soon. We need a 20-year plan. Okay, so you're going to split them. You're going to start laying people off. You're going to bleed the internal combustion engine side, what actually makes you money. You're going to borrow on that fucker. You're going to slam all the debt on it. Mm-hmm. Then you're going to sell it off for what it's worth, probably the F-150, and the biggest seller.
F-150.
And the biggest new seller, the big
Lightning,
is the Mustang Mach-E.
Oh, that one, yeah.
The electric Mustang built in Detroit. Mexico. Detroit, Mexico. It's called Hermosa. It ain't here. Who you fooling, dude? So, we remain committed to Detroit. That's great. We got a big green glass building in Dearborn, right?
Yeah.
And it's going to have 100 executives that have to fly in once a month just to touch ground and get the fuck back to California. Because that battery factory, that whole electric campus is going to be in Kentucky and Tennessee. I already know, dude.
What happens to the train station, Charlie? That's supposed to be the core of the EV efforts and operations.
Remember when they sold that to us? That's what it was going to be. Now Ford won't even put its name on it, and it's going to be a campus of cafes and internet startups and shit. And we get to assume more debt on that fucker. Wake up! I have an announcement.
Yeah.
Breaking news.
Yeah.
Q.
I'm still thinking really hard on running for governor of Michigan on an independent ticket. I promise you this. I will read. Keep it going. Again. I promise to read everything. I promise not to make false promises. I promise that nothing can be fixed in a day. I promise that I understand how government works and that I would not be a czar. I promise that if we can't fix the roads, we won't borrow to patch the roads. I promise to get along. I promise. I promise to care about your kids and your old people. I promise that I know what I'm talking about, and when I don't know what I'm talking about, I don't talk about.
So do I get to be lieutenant governor, Charlie?
Karen, everybody in this fucking town is calling you to run their shit for free. This is the true life of Karen. Oh, but we got to put together a segment of Karen's missives Like her Facebook smells like a votive candle in the toilet. The only person you can lean on is yourself, unless you see guy footprints in his hand next to you. Then you knew you were never leaning on anything.
Well, Charlie, listen, if you are governor and I become lieutenant governor, I promise I will not go out and patch up any hole anywhere.
No, but Gilchrist isn't either. I mean, I just need you to dress better than him.
That's crazy. That photo op was that was insulting. I mean, it was really insulting.
Childish.
No one buys it either.
Childish. I mean, it's childish, right? I want to see the fucker at a desk, like an LBJ picture, and there's a bunch of stuff on there, and he's got a pencil in his hand. That's what I want to see. Jacko telling me he's from Detroit. You're from Farmington. Listen, Farmington, aren't you offended? Aren't you offended?
Why, that it claims Detroit?
What a great community. Detroit's great.
No, I don't go for that, Charlie, at all. Because I was about to get your boy until he said he was born at Hudson Hospital. I was going to say Hamtramck is not Detroit. I don't, you don't do that. So he got a pass. He was born here. He's a native Detroiter. But yeah, all of that, if you don't live here, you can't claim here.
Hudson Hospital.
I knew that. I was just inviting him to come back.
No, be quiet. I got your back, Taras. Just sit there. You're good.
Look at her. That's a good lieutenant governor. I go like this. Take it up with the lieutenant. And she goes, just sit there.
I got it.
Just sit. So basically, here's the deal. It's more corporate kleptocracy that bought the process, and they're giving you bullshit press conferences. We all know. Come on, I got a mom, man. She's real smart. You don't have to solve everything. You have to acknowledge the situation. Is that right, Karen?
You have to be a leader. Leaders are not expected to be magicians. Leaders aren't expected to solve everything. They're expected to, be strategic, be honest, be accessible, and help lead us and navigate through the challenges that we're presented with. I mean, we aren't expecting her, to come in with, like Glinda the Good Witch and fix everything. That's not possible. But don't act like we're stupid and don't keep doing the dangling the carrot before the horse, because we drive the roads. We see what's going on with the nursing homes. We see the challenges that businesses are going through. Like, we're not stupid.
Yeah, and we're all sitting there getting fed shit, and everybody's smart enough now to be like, I'm being fed shit. Yeah? Do you watch it and go, I'm being fed shit? That ain't what's going on. Do you see that? Do you see that?
Yes.
Karen, do you see that?
Yes.
Hey, Hamburglar, do you see that?
Who's a Hamburglar?
Yeah,
The guy
I
that
see
stole.
it.
I love this fucking guy. I'm going to Ukraine. Like, I had a guy who's on my Facebook. I'm like, hey, let's go to the Ukraine. Like, he's Hemingway. And I'm like, I got us a ride.
Yeah, he was ready to go.
Just bring a gas card.
So when do we talk to Zach? He's sitting here so patiently waiting, and he looks like, okay, are you guys going to talk to me, or am I just here for my good looks?
There you go. That's what I was going to get at. Have we been basically cutting into him and cutting away from him?
No.
Why? Because he's hunky.
Oh, cut
I
to
don't
the
know
hook.
about you guys, but there's the
bun.
Vikings series part 2, Valhalla. It's like number 1 on Netflix.
Yeah.
I love Viking shows. Yeah. Look at him. This is our Viking.
Central Casting Viking.
Yeah, you know how the Vikings would row, of course, the Northern Sea with the iPod ear things in their, you know what I mean? It really made the day go.
iPod.
Like the reception's bad.
I just realized he's wearing the iPod headphones. That's why you said that.
Hello, Tor, the reception's bad. Row. We're close to England in the cell tower. Row. Rus. Oh, by the way, a little history lesson. Rus is the Nordic word for row. Like row, you boat. Rus. Russia. 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 The Vikings took it. Kiev.
They founded it, right?
Right? It's on the Dnieper River. That's a Viking settlement. They got all the way to the Silk Route. The Vikings are some bad motherfuckers. Just throwing that out there. Anyway.
Just like Zach.
Yeah. Zach. What up, bro?
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man. Give us your last name.
Scro.
Like sort of short for what?
It just SGRO. I know 3 consonants in a row. It's
not great.
When I first met him, he goes, "It's scro, like scrotum."
I was trying to avoid it.
All right, man. Yeah, I'm hoping he's going to be an intimate part of our group here. We're trying to grow this bitch. Lots of big news. I'm going to save it because we're getting contacted by big companies now. I'm going to leave it at that.
Okay.
Breaking news. Look what we did.
That's terrible.
Look what we did. We scored the Ukraine. Put Taras up. Hey, Taras, you there?
Yes, I'm here. Yeah, Charlie, I'm here.
Okay, mute him again.
These damn mental
What's up,
exercises.
Okay, so Zach has got a lot of skills. So here's what Zach did on his own. Basically, bro, you were monitoring social media, deep stuff going on in the Ukraine. Tell us what you were doing.
Yeah, so I mean, there's a Russian-made app that I've had for a number of years. Let's call it what it is. It's just a shit-posting app. It's for funny stuff. It's for people dicking off anonymously, posting stuff they'd never send on like Instagram and whatnot. And around Saturday, Sunday, I started seeing a lot of footage coming out of Ukraine, pro-Ukrainian, of course. And then that's when I reached out to you. I said, hey, should I try and vet these? You gave me the green light. And then I reached out to 4 or 5 different accounts, all of which got back to me. Some would send me some pretty bunk stuff. Others sent me really great stuff. And apparently, according to their screenshots and what they would give me, these are all videos that are floating around Ukraine via Telegram between freedom fighters, soldiers, and citizens alike.
So
some of the videos also from the Russian Ministry of Defense.
Yeah. How do I?
Is that Taras again?
Yes, he's on
Can you
call.
mute Taras for the 50th time?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Who's in charge of muting Taras?
Joe, he has repeatedly muted him. I'm just letting you know.
Well, this guy's got some secret account where he can override the mute. Continue, Zach. So you got this kind of deep, broken down, forgotten app, and there's real shit going on, and that you tried your damnedest to verify everything.
Absolutely. And some real hardcore shit. But there was even some really hopeful videos that I sort of nested within the video that I sent to you that I'm surprised haven't been all over the news. Like Ukrainian citizens walking down tanks, walking them back peacefully. Then there's the exact opposite of, hellfire of Molotovs hitting Russian artillery going through the streets. So
there's people hiding behind like cardboard
range.
boxes throwing Molotovs in this thing. It's really amazing stuff. And again, we're trying to make sure this isn't from the Chechen war. We're actually trying to work here. If we make a mistake, we'll tell you. But we're trying our damnedest. Everybody in here is working their ass off because we respect you. And we have a lot of thanks to give you for spending a moment with us. So, having said that, Mark, tell people where they can see this, where they can get a T-shirt. Do the commercial.
I still don't have one.
Where?
This is called strange silence.
On the internet.
That's profound.
What do you mean where they can get it?
Yeah, you can download us on iTunes, give us 5 stars, and defeat it. But and if you want to see the stuff, you can go on our YouTube account, and you always, we're being gaslighted or whatever the fuck by Facebook, but it's still there. Share. Like
YouTube's, YouTube. The Americans with Charlie LeDuff.
God damn.
NoBSNewsHour.com is another good place. Odyssey is on there as well. And rate and review and subscribe if you can. And if you don't like the show, give it 5 stars and rip it apart in the comments. But give it 5 stars.
Where?
Wherever you listen to your podcast. iTunes, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify. Everyone knows how to rate.
And if you're on Facebook, fuck them, man.
Yeah.
Like we are blowing out everything you're supposed to do there. Like 50% of the people that are even notified watch this fucker. You don't want to know what the average is? 6.
Really?
Yeah, they just, okay, fuck
They're
you
impossible
anyway.
to work with.
Fuck you. Because we got Taras. You can't deny Taras.
No, he's great.
Really there.
Hamtramck.
Oh, yeah. This guy. God, I love him. I love him. He's so what we are.
You know what, Charlie? It would actually be perfect.
That's
if
interesting.
You,
Mute him.
Let me tell you something. If you have balls, okay, you can get on a plane, fly to Warsaw. I'll pick you up in Warsaw and drive you all the way across Poland in my Hummer into Ukraine.
Okay, listen. We have a. Do we have a donate button?
Yeah, we do.
Where's that at?
NoBSNewsHour.com.
Okay, donate. I'm going.
Okay.
Bring a couple canned hams. Easter's coming.
And donate so I can continue my gas expeditions across.
Where should we donate to you, bro? Go ahead, throw that in there real quick.
Oh, Cash App $457 7777.
Do you have a site that where it is? Is it on your Twitter or something?
No, I don't have. I'm not that. I'm not that popular. I don't have that much clout. I just got a Facebook.
I can imagine that.
Put it on your Facebook.
Put
a link on your Facebook. I'll send you $200.
And Charlie, let me say this too. Terrell is also on Cash App. I just sent him some money as well, personally. But
or maybe I could just I can text it to you and you I'll figure something out.
Okay, well, interrupt me, Taras. I'm talking, so hold on. I'm
Karen,
I'm going to
apologize, Karen.
He apologized to Karen.
I apologize.
He apologized to Karen.
It's all good. I was just saying that Terrell is also on Cash App as well as PayPal and Venmo. So, yeah, and it may even be on his Twitter page.
It's pinned to the top of his Twitter page.
Madam Lieutenant Governor, he's apologized.
Oh, I accept it. Yeah,
I mean, you're getting respect from a war zone.
Good.
You're scaring a freedom fighter.
Good. I've been known to, but that's good. No, Taras is cool. That's all. It's all good. I appreciate that.
If anybody would have recognized her talent earlier, we could have avoided this whole Hutu Tutsi thing. Because remember that. I want to remind you that was genocide. That was a massacre, and nobody gave a fuck.
Rwanda.
So we should give a fuck about every war going on in this world.
That's true.
And Charlie, can I say something without you yelling at me?
Oh, you noticed that?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
There's one problem that I have witnessed in the last since this all started, as far as the U.S. government is concerned.
Okay, you got 10 seconds.
So obviously, you mentioned earlier that there is 1 million refugees that have already left Ukraine. Some of those refugees, and if people remember.
No, you're going off on a tangent. Make the point, man, because I got to get back to Zach.
Way back in the 90s, there was a problem with Bosnia and Herzegovina.
It's 2022, bro. Forget the 90s. Make the point. Make a beautiful point.
So we're gonna have an issue, maybe even in Michigan, because of the Ukrainian population, with people trying to come over as refugees.
They're welcome.
The U.S. Embassy,
as long as they're not terrorists.
Thank you. But the problem is, the U.S. Embassy in Poland is now so disorganized, and there's nobody to control that disorganization.
Leave it. Stop right there. You just gave us one. We will now look into the foreign corps and how they're handling this. How are you getting people out? There's not a United States piece of territory at the border to get United States citizens out. Are you aware of this?
There is not, and the other problem is that they say they're telling U.S. citizens that we're at the border. They're not at the border. They're 8 kilometers from the border, and if a U.S. citizen needs help at the border, how's he going to get 8 kilometers in the cold weather? He or she. How are they going to get help from the embassy?
And we're not getting it. We'll leave it at that.
And
Mr. Biden, we're coming. Ms. Stabenow, we're coming. Senator Peters, we're coming. Our congressional delegation, we're coming. Where are you? Thank you, Taras. Zach, introduce the piece, please.
All right. This is a series of videos I've received since Thursday documenting a firsthand account from soldiers and citizens.
Cut. Bring him back up. Did he cut?
No.
With some energy, bro. We'll fix it in post. There's a war going on here. What is this?
It's a solemn occasion.
There. Go on.
This is a very solemn occasion. I've received a lot of videos since last Thursday from Ukrainians on the ground, and this is their story. This is what they're seeing out in the streets.
Thank you, man. Thank you for your work this week. Ukraine, we're
Anytime.
with you.
Так, будет с каждым. Сюда глаза завязать ему.
Я русский корабль, повторяю. Предлагаю сложить оружие, сдаться, иначе по вам будет нанесен удар. Корабль, иди нахуй.
Да, будем информировать.
Кидай, блядь, кидай, блядь, кидай!
Wow. It's awful. Are you scared? Of course.
Що там, мразь? Опа.
Диви, покрутив.
Опа.